Hello everybody and welcome back. It's Creative Redundancy back again, also known as on your screen CR. And this is combination mode with CR. This stream/replay is a fun exercise/activity of taking random stuff and making stuff with it. Now, I'm no expert in survivalism, bushcrafting, making, or preparedness. I'm just one that puts that knowledge gained into something better, as like many others out there, trying to create a better future starting today. So join CR and let's create, build, make, and combine together. So about 5 people or channels are needed to start this. The rules are simple. Only use the items stated with only certain tools to create whatever you can. Let's see if you can think outside the box. So while I wait for some people to drop in here, as I actually started the stream a couple minutes early, I see some people coming in. Hello everyone coming in. Feel free to leave something on the side chat right now if you want, while I get some stuff ready. So grab that coffee like I just did. Or tea, or snack, or whatever, and join me for combination mode. So while I wait for a couple people in here, I will load up my intro here. And boom! CR's in the house. With a heart. And a maple leaf. And a whole bunch of stage props for combination mode. So let me bring out the side chat here so I can actually see it. See what's up. Minimize a few screens here so I can actually see what's up. Let's see here. There we go. So, combination mode. So, we're going to take some random stuff. So, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a pen, like this pen right here. Notepad. Pencil. Might be taking a random tool, whatever, right? I like this Victorinox Swiss Army type knife. A multi-tool. Maybe this pen knife. We're gonna see what we can make together. Now, while I wait for some people to drop in here, because actually my chat's empty right now, but whatever, it's fine. Eventually someone will come in, right? While I wait for some people to drop in here for this mode here. The reason why I started this mode is, well, because in certain situations, you may be limited on resources that you have, things that you can use for whatever reason. Maybe you don't have access to your backpack, for example, and you gotta use your things that are on you. Maybe your everyday carry items, like keys, for example, like what I have right here in my hands. Keys. It may be that ferro rod around your neck or something like that. Your shirt. Your shoes. Maybe you have paracord on your shoe as shoelace instead. Or even your shoelace. So let me welcome into the room here Jace M Outdoors. Hello. Thank you for taking the time to drop in. I appreciate it, man. You're surprised I didn't make my own homemade multi-tool? Eh, not really. I sort of tried, but I mean. But anyways, basically this mode, like I said, is to test your mind. You know, as a fun exercise to do, to take random stuff and try to see what you can do with it. You know, put it together to some sort of good use. Maybe not for survival, but for the most part, I'm relating this to survivalism. Because you could be out in for some situation or whatever, lost, where you've stopped, stop, think, observe, and plan, and you're like taking inventory of what you got on you to use, whatever it is. And you may be limited on the stuff that you do have, which means you're gonna, use what you got or use what you have to get what you need. Where you might be, hopefully, you wouldn't, if you planned ahead, you wouldn't have to, per se, improvise a lot. Like, you wouldn't have to use a needle and a magnet to improvise a compass because you actually brought an actual compass with you. Because you're out in, the XYZ woods or something like that. And you had some forethought beforehand of, hey, I'm in a new area, maybe I should bring a map and compass. Tell people where I'm going and such and such. So, while I'm waiting for some people here, I'm gonna actually start with a very simple or an example of this, just in case anyone doesn't know about this. I've actually introduced this mode a few times already, done a few live streams about this already, so I'm just gonna take 3 things here. If you're still in the room, you want to leave an item, random item, whatever it is, feel free. And like I said, for this mode, it doesn't matter what the items are, per se. I mean, the more different or unusual they are, well, the more you gotta think outside the box and consider things, at least. The things that could be put together, they might be one-time use. It might not be the best thing. They might take a little bit more time, just like the needle here with a magnet, right? This is going to take some time to do. A piece of steel here. Can you be a little bit more specific, Jason? Just a little bit more, just so it's a little bit easier. A piece of steel, I mean, relatively speaking, could be a lot of things. I mean, this could be a piece of steel right here, thin, but so piece of steel. I mean, that could be a lid piece of steel. So if you want to be more specific, so some things I might have to ask people to be a little bit more specific, just so it's not as too general. Just so we can, as I or whoever's watching, can kind of picture it in your mind or see it in front of them. And not see, is it this size or this color or this shape or whatever. Oh, like a piece of sheet steel. Okay. So let's just pretend, hypothetically, of course, it's a piece of sheet steel, let's say, about the size of a person or whatever. Well, let me welcome into the room here, Potato Head Barnes. Hello, Potato Head. Hello. What's up, man? Let me give you some art. Welcome with a maple leaf. For me, from Western Canada here. So, yes, potatoes in the house! Yeah, okay, sheet metal type of steel. So, Potato Head, if you're in, well, actually, I know you're in right now. Leave an item on the screen right now. It could be whatever it is. I'll work on it. But leave an item on the screen right here. And, well, Valerie too. Hello, hi Val! What's up, Val? Thank you for coming by. All of you for joining combination mode with me. And like I said, it's a fun exercise to do of putting random stuff together. And test your mind. And try to think outside the box. So, now, like I said, the rules are simple. People will suggest, well, not suggest, but randomly put up an item on the screen for each time, of course, and I'll randomly put a tool in, and I may randomly put an item in. So, as a hypothetical situation where you don't, for some reason you only have these items, what can you do with it? And I may be more specific on the situation, depending, but for the first time around, I'm gonna leave the situation kind of open. So let's see what's up. Sure, why not? I'm worried. Yeah. Hello, Plymouth. Hi. How's it going, man? Thank you for taking the time to drop in. So, yeah. And I'm randomly wearing this go-go, man. So, anyways, so, J7 left a piece of sheet metal as his one item. So, everyone else that's in right now, Potato, Val, Plymouth, yeah. So, if you want to leave an item on the screen right now, since I'm short one person for 5, I'm gonna add in my random item here after you say your random item. So it's not the same thing. So while I wait for people, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee here. Oh yeah, this is good coffee. And probably shut my door too. Alright. Alright, well. Alright, let's just say I'm just gonna bring this up right here so I can actually start this mode because I've actually been in for like 13 minutes already, so let's see here. Glass, alright, okay, glass, alright. I got something. If I remember where it was. A piece of glass, 8 alright. I got a piece of glass right here, so. It's a mirror, but let's just say it's still a piece of glass. And, we'll just pretend that this is some random bottle. Let's say it's a glass bottle. Broken, so you found it. And it's not, like, it doesn't have you don't have access to the bottom, so you can't use it as a container, let's just say. So, we got glass, toothbrush, and that's it. Well, let's just say glass, toothbrush, and that piece of steel that Jason put out earlier. And I'll put the item, let's say, I'll put the Sharpie in. So, Sharpie, piece of glass, piece of broken glass. Let's say it's the bottom of some glass bottle, some alcoholic beverage bottle. Yeah, I already got that potato head. We'll see it. So, Sharpie, piece of the bottom of a glass bottle, so you can't use it as a container. toothbrush. So let's just say a travel size toothbrush, or like a normal toothbrush. So it's not a manual toothbrush, so it's not electric or anything like that. And for the tool of choice here, this Gerber multi-tool that has a knife, pliers, file, Phillips flathead screwdriver, and such and such. Yeah. So what can you do with all that? So let me repeat myself again. Toothbrush, Sharpie, like this one right here. Piece of broken glass from the bottom of a bottle. So you can't use this container, and you got this Gerber multi-tool with you in this situation. What can you do with that? Now, when I think about it, oh, he wants a spanner. Oh, okay, he actually does mean that. Oh, okay. Well, okay, let's just put that spanner in for this, for the hell of it. I do have that as an example, so. And we'll just add that spanner in. as it. I thought he was talking about something. Anyways, so you have a spanner, something similar to this. Maybe a crescent wrench or something like that. Sharpie, piece of glass from the bottom of a broken glass bottle, and a toothbrush. What can you do with it using this? And you have this Gerber multi-tool as the tool, because that's what I have right now for it. So what can you do with this? Now, clearly, a piece of glass could be flint knap, obviously. If you found a piece of rock, some sort of hammerstone, such. But the thing is, that takes time, and you need to practice at it. Definitely, you need to practice at that. So if you were proficient at doing that, yeah, you probably could flint knap some arrowhead or something similar to that. Using this kind of spanner or wrench right here, you might be able to use it as something to grab something with, like hot or something like that. Let's see here. This one's kind of hard because the access to fire is probably very limited. I mean, yeah, I probably could bow drill something if, I got multi-tool and do stuff like that. But let's say it's winter, and, well, then what, right? That might be harder. So, let's see, toothbrush. Oof. This is actually quite hard, this one. So, as I think about it. Now, I guess with a marker, if you were lost, draw something down that says, hey, I'm in that direction. That says, maybe, hey, I'm lost, I'm over here at this cave over here, and you made an arrow with some sticks or whatever, right? Maybe you used that Gerber multi-tool, found a stick, sharpened the tip so you can anchor it into the ground, split down the side, split it in half part way down, and made some sort of arrow that says, hey, I'm over here, and you drew down on a piece of punk wood or something that says, hey, your name or something like that, especially if you were lost, injured, or something like that. Yeah, alright. I wasn't sure. Potato head. You gotta be more specific, remember? Context of the conversation. So, as I bring this stuff up, that toothbrush, outside of survival, I guess, I could be using that toothbrush to kind of, if I can pull up the file here, kind of clean off my file. You know, I know files eventually get clogged with stuff, with whatever you're filing it off, wood, whatever, right? I know mine has right now, so if I had a toothbrush, I could use it just to kind of clean that gunk off. So, wow, this is tricky, this one. This one's definitely tricky. I mean, your pearl, if you only had this stuff, I mean, you know, you got a tool at least, so it wouldn't be too bad. So let me welcome into the room here with a big boom! Sorry, I got excited because Cabin Life with Glenn and Maureen are in, and I'm pretty sure it's Glenn, unless Maureen's in. So, hi Glenn. I know I'm waving, and actually I can actually wave this time. So, yeah, this one's quite difficult this time around. Whew, that is difficult. I know this is partially aluminum or something like that, but still, I mean, like, oof, that'd be, you'd be hurting in a situation if you only had this stuff, piece of glass, and a toothbrush. Especially if it was serious, but hopefully you would plan more and have more to work with. But that's why this is combination mode, and we're thinking outside the box a little. So, since I do have some more people in, and let me welcome here Southern Ohio Prepping here, aka Grumpy Old Man, is in the house. Hello. Thank you for taking the time to drop in. Now, since I do have some more people in, I'm gonna go away from this for a little bit because that was just an example to warm you guys up for this. So, second round here. Let's see. Second round here of this, a combination mode here. So, since I have enough people here. Now, each person out there right now, so Potato Head, Plymouth, Southern Ohio Prepping, and Cabin Life with Glenn and Maureen. I think I got everyone in there. And Jason if he's still in. Leave me an item on the side chat right now. One item. You get to choose one item. It does not matter what it is. Like I said, it could be chapstick, a pen, or a pencil. Like this one right here. No. It could be a bag. Whatever it is. Alright? And after you guys leave an item, and I'm not paying attention to the chat right now, after that, I will put a tool up on the screen as our one tool option. Because you, or we, or whoever, just happens to have it with them. And for this situation, I'm going to actually add for this round of it, I'm going to add a situation in. It's going to be in the springtime. So, there's a time this time, or a season. In the springtime, most of the snow has melted, let's just say, and you're out in the woods for some reason. And for some reason, you're out in the woods with the items that are people are trying to say. So, well, okay, I guess we're gonna get really, well, I guess we're gonna have some fun with random stuff here. So we got, let's see what we got here. Still waiting for a few items from a few of you. So while I'm waiting here, so Jason wants to bring in a bra. Okay. I'm not gonna show that as a stage prop if we know what that is. Yeah, let's. Um. Let's just we'll pretend that you're with someone that has one. Let's just say. Southern Ohio prepping has a your bushcraft knife. All right, all right, all right. I'll bring the Smora up as an example for that, just so, and we'll just it's got 90-degree spine, and I can get sparks off of this. It is a carbon version, so, and let's just pretend that the sheet's with it. I just have it to the side right now, so we got some sort of full tang knife that has 90-degree spine. Let's just say it's carbon steel, so you can get sparks if you had a piece of flint. A bra from JSM for some reason. A battery here. Alright, a battery. So let's see. I got a battery. I do have this brand of battery right here. And let's just say it's like 2 or 3 at least. Let's just assume that you had a headlamp, it broke, and you only found the batteries for some reason. You're well, you guys are making this a little bit a ferro rod with a striker, hey? Alright, alright. I'm gonna modify that glint just slightly here, and use this magnesium bar as the stage prop. So, wow, it's got the ferro rod. So let's just say, we got the ferro rod here. A striker, okay. Alright. I just happen to have a striker nearby too. So we randomly have, let's say, three AAA or AA batteries, whatever. But we'll go with, well, let's just go with 3 batteries, just for the sake of simplicity. Striker with a ferro rod, not the magnesium. Stage prop. A bra, a wooden hiking stick. So let's just say it's about just taller than you. Wooden hiking stick. Nothing real special about it. Let's just say it's just a simple hiking stick. So there's no additional stuff with it this time around. Your food box, eh? Alright, I got a box. I got a box. It's a little small for a food box. Let's just say it's like a 1 foot by 1 foot box. So a 1 foot by 1 foot box, a ferro rod with a striker, batteries, some sort of bushcraft knife, and some sort of bra. Okay, let's see. What can you? Oh, and my tool of choice here, since I get to add that in, is going to be Yep. I'm picking on this mechanical drill, an 8-beat type of drill. So, what can you do with a box, a 1 foot by 1 foot box? Let's just say, for the sake of simplicity, it's a cardboard box. For some reason, you got this for some reason too, and a bra, and you have 3 AA batteries, some sort of bushcraft knife, and a ferro rod / striker. What can you do with that? Now, as I think about this, obviously, let's see here. You're probably better off than the last round if you had this, because obviously now you have a full tang knife that's hopefully sharp, so you can make feather sticks. Well, you can cut stuff, right? You're probably not done chop down a big tree with it per se. No, probably not. You know, alright. You might be able to get something like 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 inches maybe. But there's no way you're not to get down something like 6 inches or bigger or wider. Or at least if you did, it'd take a lot longer because you would have to, you know, gradually remove the material and hopefully get that wedge shape in the tree and kind of push it over. So let's see here. So I put down a few things here. I have too many things in my hands right now. You actually got one of them? Okay. Let's see here. Now, I have seen videos of some sort of like survival hack or whatever to use a bra as a kind of makeshift mask. I mean, maybe. I mean, it depends on the weave and stuff like that, and you know, let's just say if it's more see-through, I don't know how much good that would have of a mask that would be against like something like smoke or something like that. I mean, like if it's wet, maybe it would help. So if there was water nearby, you know. And coming back to this kind of, I remember this is in the springtime for this round. In the springtime, most of the snow is melted, and let's say it's warmer out. Let's say 50 Fahrenheit plus 10 Celsius. And let's say it's just like today. It's sunny! And for some reason you're lost for some reason. Let's see, so obviously you clearly have access to fire. You have a knife so you can make feather sticks with. And such, so you know you can make feather sticks with it, you know, and stuff, with a piece of wood that you find or whatever. Let's see, that cardboard box, well, I guess, especially if it's a cardboard box, 1 foot by 1 foot, you know, I guess that's tinder right there. If you can, if it's, as long as it's not wet, I mean, you can process that down, wouldn't take too long. Let's see here. The batteries now. Think about the batteries. What can you use the batteries for in this case? I mean, you don't got steel wool. Well, I guess you don't got steel wool, so you're probably not gonna start a fire like that. But obviously you don't need to because you got your fair run with Striker this time. So clearly, you know, well, I don't like the Striker, but thank goodness, you got a knife with a 9-degree spine on it, so you don't have to worry about that. Like, yeah, there we go. Yeah. So you can get fire. Your knife could help you bushcraft up some shelter if need be. And let's remember, it's springtime in this situation, so you're not gonna see a lot of vegetation out right now. Things are just blooming. So, relatively speaking, you probably could see quite good because there's not a bunch of leaves and stuff in the way. Let's see. The fire might be handy because, well, let's say, yeah, it's sunny out right now, but maybe a little bit later, you know, some sort of localized flooding or something like that happens because it is springtime. Let's say water's coming down from the mountains and, later that couple hours later, that stream that you're nearby is starting to get higher and higher and higher and higher. You know, especially if it started to rain, it would actually get higher and higher and higher. So, and you're jumping the gun, Southern Ohio prepping. We're only using these things from this round. So, I'm just trying to figure out what to use the battery for in this situation. I mean, I'm just not sure at the moment. Alright, Plymouth. Thank you for taking the time to drop in. Hopefully I'll see you back in here soon. If not, then I'll catch you on Hangouts or whatever. So let me welcome into the room here. Reaper Militia Outdoors. Hello, what is up, buddy? What is up? Happy New Year to you too, because I haven't said it to you too. So, I could still say it. Whoo, sweet jerky. Nice, nice. Ah, you guys want to use it as a slingshot? That bra? Well, maybe. Not sure how strong it would be. Now, I guess, depending, I mean, there are straps on it. I guess you could use it as cordage, but I mean, maybe. And I say maybe. Maybe as a pre-filter too. Now, we don't have a container in this situation, so you would have to find a container, something to either boil in, or find something that you could put hot rocks into to use hot rocks to boil water. But anyways, I'm gonna go for another round of this right now, so let's see. Next round. Yeah, you too, man. So next round of this, of combination mode. So again, everyone out there on the side chat, leave one item. Try to be as specific as you can. It'll just help. One item. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be, like I said, it could be a pencil, a pen, whatever it is. Hell, it could be random perfume. I don't know. It could be this double ollie. Whatever. You know, doesn't matter. And after you say your one item on the screen, each channel person gets to have one item. In this case. And in this situation, let's say it's summertime in this situation, and you're out on the beach. So summertime, out on the beach. Right? Now, after you guys say your one item, I will introduce, put forth a tool for it, with it. So while I wait for you guys, I'll have a sip of coffee. Okay, Southern Ohio. Alright, I get the point. So we got a shuriken from Jason. Okay. So we get some sort of star. Trying to see if I actually have something to represent that on screen here. Or if I do, I don't see it nearby. Okay, so some sort of metal shuriken, okay. While we wait for everyone else here. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. Hopefully it's nice and warm out for you guys right now. So, Valerie's done put in a stainless steel water bottle. Okay. Alright. and we'll assume there's a lid with it. And we'll just assume that it's some sort of like, you know, let's say 24, 32 ounce one. So it's about yay big. It's got the screw top on it, so it's got the lid, obviously. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, you would probably find if you brought it in, you would probably have a lid with it. Just saying. What's up, Into the Bush? What's up, man? Yes, I got your message, but I wasn't around at that time, so I still have to watch that, by the way, too. Alright. Later, Potato Head. So, Into the Bush, I'm pretty sure you are familiar with this mode, so if you want to give one item here, it doesn't matter what it is, and we're gonna randomly put things together. Now, in this situation, it's gonna take place in the summer on the beach. And let's just say, for sake of time, it's morning time. So let's say 10 o'clock in the morning, for whatever reason. A Sharpie marker, like this one. Well, actually, I'm gonna change the Sharpie marker to the more plastic version that we're all aware of. It just happens to be silver, so we just happen to find a silver one. So we got that. Stainless steel bottle. Alright. Well, minus the other stuff. Stainless steel bottle. Sharpie. Alright, Into the Bush. So, yeah. Oh, and a shuriken. So, we got 3 things right now. They still need... anyone else want to put out an item for this? Combination mode. Round. Feel free right now. While I wait for everyone right now, I'm just gonna have a sip of coffee again. Well, I'm not being too specific because it would vary a lot, but let's just say you're on the beach. On the beach, it's in the summertime, by like some lake or ocean. Let's just say. So let me welcome into the room here, Happy Trails Hiking with Kay. Hello, Kay. Hi. Oh, and since I haven't seen you, Happy New Year, by the way. Coffee. You want to bring coffee in? Alright. Yeah, coffee. Yeah. I got coffee right here. Like always. A ferro rod? Alright. I guess Jason wants to bring in a ferro rod for this. So, we got, let's see, shuriken, randomly. Metal water bottle, like this one right here, that has a lid. Some sort of ferro rod. Alright. I'll just bring this magnesium bar back up on the screen. It has a ferro rod on here. And just to make it a little bit more challenging, your ferro rod, for some reason, you don't have to strike it with it. You do not have to strike it for whatever reason. So, let's see here. A net? A net? Okay, a net. Okay. I thought I had an example of one. Alright, well, I don't have a stage prop ready for that net, but we all know what a net looks like. So let's just say it's some sort of fishing type of net. Let's see here. You could run across a tarp. I'm just making sure that I have all the items here. So, a shuriken, stainless steel bottle, a Sharpie, and... Okay, Into the Bush wants to bring half a saw blade. Okay. Now, if you're putting items on the screen, I'm assuming that this is your choice. Coffee and a ferro rod. And a net. Alright, I just don't put those items in that I see on the screen here. So we have a shuriken, stainless steel water bottle. Yeah, the Sharpie. Let's just say we have coffee in the metal water bottle. A ferro rod and a net. Alright. So what can you do with all that? And the tool of choice for this round is going to be this Victorinox Recruit Swiss Army type of knife. 2 blades, can opener, and flathead. So with all that, shuriken, stainless steel water bottle, Sharpie marker, half a saw blade, and some reason we have coffee in that stainless steel water bottle, a ferro rod, and a net, and this is the tool of choice. In this case, what can you do with all that? While you're on, and for this situation, you're on the beach, it's in the summer, it's about 10 o'clock, and let's just say you're lost. Not, or you washed up on the beach with it for some reason. You know, or you're by there. So what can you do with this? Alright, Val. And have fun with that too. So what can you do with that? Well, let's see here. Now, let's just think of in terms of this situation, summertime on the beach, so heat, you know, the elements are probably not get to you, let's just say. You know, the heat's probably eventually not get to you. Now, since we're at the beach, let's just say you're closer to the ocean, so this water that you see in front of you, the tide that's coming in and stuff like that, that's salt water. You cannot consume that, really, because it's too heavily, well, there's too much sodium, right? It's gonna make you feel dehydrated more if you drink it. So, right now, that coffee, well, although it's still make you, you know, dehydrated, well, it's probably better than salt water. So, we still got that. And we'll just say it's full. For the hell of it. Let's see here. Oof, this is tricky. Because in normal situation, and my normal situations, in our situations, you would just boil water in that metal water bottle with that, using the ferro rod and half saw blade to drive sparks into something. And like I said, you do have some sort of Swiss Army type of knife, so you can make feather sticks, kindling, you know, increase the surface area for your fire so it burns and stuff like that. But you're by the ocean this time around, so yeah, fire will help you. Probably not right now. You know, it's kind of hard to have a fire. Let's say it's much warmer, summertime, so 30 degrees Celsius, about what, 88 Fahrenheit, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, you could have a fire, but it's kind of hot. It's morning right now in this situation, and let's say it's sunny again. So, you know, and you would turn around, in front of you. Oh, I'm looking in front of you, at you guys right now. I see ocean and sandy beaches. So let's see here. Now that shuriken that JCM said, you know, if we found a stick, could wedge it in between. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, see, we don't have any cordage to kind of tie that shuriken to a stick to make it as like improvised, let's say, fishing spear or something like that. And since you're, I mean, unless you can find some sort of sap or something to kind of use it as, you know, natural adhesive to join that shuriken to that stick. So you would take a stick or whatever, right? If you were close by, you could find one that's relatively straight, split it a little, put that shuriken in there, and kind of use it as a, you know, you know what I mean, right? But if you had some sort of adhesive or find natural means of it, like pine sap or something like that, there's no we don't have any cordage at the moment. Unless we go down and walk on along the beach and maybe find something that got washed up. Uh, well, wait. We got that net, so we could do it with the net. In theory, I guess that net is just basically cordage that's been interweaved together. You know, let's assuming that let's say that net's not really in the greatest shape, and you realize that it's got a big hole at the bottom or something like that, and it's not suitable anymore for fishing or catching something. Could do something like that, especially with that shuriken. And if you found a stick, and we do have a cutting tool, so we could split the stick slightly and do all that stuff. Let's see here. In terms of the shelter, though, that was just the food part. The shelter in the shelter in the water. I mean, oh, that's quite tricky. Yeah, that is quite tricky indeed. Let's see here. Whew. Sharpie. I mean, you can write stuff down, I guess, but let's see here. Hey, thanks for coming by, Savage Survival. Hello, nice to see you, man. How's it going? Hopefully everything's going all okay. So, oh, you want to introduce a tarp? Okay. Well, okay. Again, kind of mixed here, but okay. Let's say there's a tarp in there. All right. Well, let's just say you walk down the beach a little and you found a tarp. It's not the biggest tarp this time, for the sake of this example. 4x6, so it's not really that big. You know, I guess you could cut the tarp into strips if you wanted to. Well, shelter wouldn't be too hard, depending. Yes, thanks, Savage Survival. Yes, things are good. Things are going well. Thank you. So let's see. Well, actually, like I said, we got quite a bit compared to the last round. I mean, we got a cutting tool, we got a metal water bottle. I mean, like the netting may have enough for cordage. And we randomly walked down the beach a little, for like, let's say, half a mile, half a kilometer, or whatever, right, for like 15 minutes, and we found a tarp, and we brought it back to our location. Oh, and we stuck the metal, and we, you know, let's see here, what else? I'm trying to remember what else we had in there. Oh, and we found some wood, so we marked on the wood as a point, as a reference point. So we wrote down something that says, whatever, right? A star or something. So you'd be like, oh yeah. So you're familiar with that. Be like, oh yeah, I see my marker that I left, right, as I walk back. So this is my starting point. So around here, I know where things are right now. I've been around. I done that kind of assessment of the area. Okay. What's up, so Steve? What's up, man? Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate it. Hmm. Yeah, true, true. If there's enough abandoned buildings to dip into for shelter, or storms if need be. Okay, okay. And let's just say, in this example here, after you found that tarp, it's you kind of try to make some sort of shade, right? Some sort of cover or shelter on the side. Like I said, this example, this situation, is on the beach. You're closer to the ocean in this case, so you can't really drink that water or even boil it. You can't just boil salt water either, right? So, that tarp. You might be able to do a solar still. I don't know. Maybe it's not clear, so it might still work. I don't. And you do have this metal container, so you can put it at the bottom of your solar still to gather that water or moisture or drips. And let's say, and you did not. Well, the thing is, now you're doing it like pretty much midday. Let's say I started this at 10, like for this situation. So it's already noon, so that's midday. It's gonna be probably one of the hottest parts of the day. Making a solar still during that time, I don't know, because you might be losing more water than you can gain back. Now, for this example, there happens to be a metal water bottle that you had, and it has coffee in it. All right. I mean, obviously the coffee still not dehydrate you a bit, but it's probably better than the salt water. I mean, at least it'll keep you awake for a bit. But that tarp that you found was, yeah, that's probably the single most important thing at that time, anyways, right? Shelter, right? Because, like I said, it's 30 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're on the beach, too. You're on the beach, too. So. Alright, Val. Catch you later. Thank you for taking the time to drop in, by the way. Okay, okay. Sometimes there is some rainwater streams inland. Okay, okay, okay. So let's see here. I'm trying to remember everything that went in this. So basically, as I take a short break from this uh, round to explain, so the the idea behind this was sometimes they're limited on the resources you have. So sometimes you gotta use what you have to get what you need, and do that assessment of everything around you from what's on you to what's relatively near you to what's just beyond that next tree line or and such, right? So let me welcome off-grid tiny house with Rob here. Hello, Rob, with a special maple leaf. Woo woo. So, I already know Rob knows this mode because I think you've seen this before from me, as far as I remember. But anyways, coming back to what I was saying, this is an exercise to kind of get you thinking about, putting stuff together. Because, like I said, you may be limited on the resources that you have in any given situation. Like, maybe you brought a full backpack of gear, but let's say you lost half of it for whatever reason, whatever the reason is, or you can't access it because you're injured or something like that, and you know, for some reason it's up your backpack's up a tree and your leg's broken. I don't know if you don't get up the tree with a leg broken leg. You know, hypothetically speaking. Yes, exactly. Sometimes you have to kind of think outside the box a little. You know, whether or not it can or would work, I mean, it depends, right? Depends on the situation, depends what you have with you, you know, and depends what you need it for. I mean, if you want to make a pot, I mean, or boil water or sterilize or purify your water, probably a metal water bottle would probably be better than taking the time to dig up clay and do all that stuff, you know, or try to find a container suitable to hold water to rock boil it. Or a metal water bottle, if you had it, would just save you so much time. So you wouldn't have to do all that stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be tough. I mean, if you couldn't find water inland, I mean, that's ocean water. You probably don't have to just make some sort of source still if you couldn't find water inland. So, anyways, here, let's see here. Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. Food would be last, shelter and water would be your primary to get a source or to start doing it right away. Yeah, exactly. Because that's not hit you first. You know, as they say, that's not kill you first, right? The dehydration, the exposure to this summer sun at that time, in this situation, or from the last round, right? Alright, so I'm gonna go for another round of this here. Yeah, exactly, there's always trash. Another round of this. Next round of this there. As I put it on the screen here. So another round of this. So each person gets to choose one item right now that's in the chat right now. And in this situation, let's say it is a nice 60 Fahrenheit. 60 Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius. It's fall time in this situation. And unlike the other two, it's actually raining this time around. Light rain. Nothing major yet. And you're in the woods. So, you're in fall time, 60 Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius. It's light rain. But it is mostly overcast out though. You can barely see the sun. So you barely know where it is right now. And let's just say for time period, let's say it's like October-ish. In the woods, it hasn't snowed yet in this area, but there is like rain out for this situation, for this round of it, and let's say it's about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you could actually see the sun and do this whole stick out your hand thing, where each finger counts as 15 minutes, if you could do that, you realize that, sun's setting relatively in the next 2 hours. You're lost for some reason. And for some reason, we only have the following items, whatever they are. And I'll introduce one tool again. I'm not familiar with that, Reaper. Well, I'm still not familiar with that term or word, sorry. So. So while I wait for everyone to leave an item on the screen here, let's see here. I'm gonna have some coffee here. A bicycle? Okay. For some reason we have a bicycle. You know, maybe you biked in. Maybe you biked in. Okay, okay. And you biked in. You biked in, so we have a bicycle. Oh, okay. So another one item thing. So like I said, it's in the fall. 16 Celsius, 60 Fahrenheit, light rain. You biked in, so you have a bicycle. And it's about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you do realize that the sun will be setting soon. Because it's like in September or October. Where sunset is probably around, I think, 6 or 7. So you do realize that you're lost, right? Oh, actually, let's just say that your bicycle is inoperative, ran a flat. So both tires are flat. You cannot bike out, which means you gotta walk it out. You're still able to walk. You know, for some reason you just blew 2 tires. You didn't bring a spare. Your bike's pretty much, you know, you didn't trick it out, let's just say, so there's no additional gear on it. And you have bungee cables, a water bottle. Alright, and let's just say it's a plastic water bottle for this example. So bungee cable, you have a bicycle, bungee cords or cable, a water bottle, and let's just say it's a plastic water bottle this time. Like an Nalgene, for example, which I have on the side, which I can't really get to right now. Actually, I think I can actually get it. Oh, yeah. So, you got this. So let's say it was, you know, as they say, between your legs, right underneath your bar of your bike. So you had something like this on your bike. You had bungee cables for some reason, you know. A big, oh, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, feel free to check each other out too. I'll get into that after though. So, let's see here. You gotta be more specific, so Steve, if you want to bring an example. So, we have a Nalgene type bottle or something similar to this, so it's not metal. You have a bicycle, bungee cables, and for the tool of choice here, again, I'm gonna bring in a multi-tool, like this Gerber multi-tool right here. So, pliers, wire cutters, it's got a knife on it, file, Phillips head, straight head, some sort of bottle can opener, cutting tool, right? So what can you do with this? And in this situation, it's rain. It's light rain, fall time, fall time, 60 Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius, light rain. Both your tires are flat on your bike, and you're not injured in this case, luckily enough. You know, you took a spill. You know, you're not seriously injured. Maybe a scrape or something like that, but you realize that both tires are flat, and you biked in quite good distance out. And like I said, you got this multi-tool. So it's fall, 16 Celsius, 60 Fahrenheit, light rain. You get a bike that has 2 flat tires. You got a Gerber multi-tool, something similar to this. You have a water bottle. Let's just say, for the sake of simplicity, you did bring some water, but you just realize that you're down to like a very, very small amount of it. So, and somehow we have bungee cable too. So, what can we do with this? Right? Now, clearly, in that situation, since it's light rain, open up your container, try to use something to funnel in some of that rainwater, right? For water, right? So water is probably not such a big deal, in this situation. Now, let's just say that that rain kind of started. You weren't expecting it. It's one of those, hey, they said 0%, 10% chance, now it's starting to actually rain. And let's say, like I said, it's about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And, you're like, great. I just biked for the last, like, 2 hours into the bush on this on this trail or whatever. Some sort of mountain bike, let's just say, right? And you're just like quite a distance away because you've been biking the last 2 hours. So you do realize that, it's gonna take you a while to get out, right? And unfortunately, you did tell people that you were out biking, but you didn't tell specifically where in this case. So you do realize you gotta get out on your own. No cell service, no cell service. You have some sort of smartphone or whatever. No service, no service. So you can't even call and be like, hey, whoever, can you, I just broke down. You can't even do that, right? So, I guess start walking back, right? Walking back. You kind of know a general direction of where it is, but you've been been so excited about biking that you haven't been paying attention so much. So you're just like, okay, I think it's this way. And like I said, it's light rain. The sky's mostly dark, so you can barely make out the sun, but you do know the sun's gonna be setting soon. And like I said, you've been at this for 2 hours, and it's about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you do realize that the sun's gonna be setting in a couple more hours, right? So you do realize that you want to get out before dark because you have no headlamp with you, no light source with you in this case, and for this example, you don't even have access to like a light or a ferro rod. And even if you had access to solar, can't use it because it's cloudy out. It's way too dark out, let's just say, or not bright enough out for solar ignition, even if you had a chance for it. So, I guess for me in this situation, I'd be like, I would stop, right? That stop acronym. Think for a sec, right? Stand again, bourgeois, right? Try to, I know this immediate area right now because I can see it, and observe and be like, and start making a plan and be like, okay, I guess I gotta hike it back to, let's say, your truck or your car or whatever that you have parked like a 2 hour bike ride away. And like I said, you've been at it for a while. You haven't been paying attention too much to the trail too much. And let's just say it's a new trail that you kind of wanted to try out. Unfortunately, you got out late, so you're like, oh, I should be back before dark. I should be fine. And then you blow both tires, right? So you can't really bike out either. So what do you do at that time? So you do have this multi-tool. So, if need be, you're probably not gonna want to walk with the bike back. And let's say it's a far distance where you're just like, you're like, this bike's gonna slow me down if I want to bring it back, you know. If you were close by or whatever to something, you know, that's one thing. But you're so far out, you're like, is it worth it, right? And you do realize it's getting dark, done be getting dark soon. It's already 4:30, reaching 5 o'clock. It's still light rain. It's starting to get a little darker out now, and you're just like, yeah, maybe it's time to head back. You know. I guess you got a multi-tool if you want to cannibalize anything off your bike, if you deem it necessary. You know, there's cables for cordage, spokes for points, I guess the bicycle inner tube if you want to read ranger bands or something like that, or something to put something into. Meanwhile, you've used your water bottle to gather some rainwater. You know, you use something to funnel it to there, so you do have some water. You started off, you only had like 100 mil, and now it's slowly filled up to the 300 mark now in that time. So luckily enough, now you do have some water, so it's not too bad. But you do realize it's gonna get dark soon, and you have no light source, and you know you've been biking with a mountain bike, and you do realize if you can't see well, you know, that's another thing you have to deal with. So for me, I'd be like, okay, this spot is safe right now because I'm here right now, you know, currently, you know. And let's just say you have some light jacket on or whatever. It's repelling the water at the moment, let's just say. And you got your you know, you brought shoes for biking purposes. So I would stay still for a sec, mark my this location as something good, some sort of marker that says, you know, I probably just, for me, I probably just put a CR in somewhere and be like, okay. And you do realize when you look back, you could see your tracks still in the dirt and stuff. So you start following it, you know, you start following the tracks back, right? And you're just like, okay, I think I'm going in the right direction. You think you're going in the right direction, you know, you see your tire tracks from your mountain bike, and that mountain bike, like I said, maybe you cannibalize stuff off of it. Because this situation, both tires got flat. You've been biking for the last 2 hours. It's about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. In the fall, with light rain, it's 60 Fahrenheit or 16 degrees Celsius, and you do realize that it's starting to get cooler and cooler and cooler as the rain comes down, right? So you're just like walking, you know, and you got, let's just say, in this example here, use the multi-tool to remove the steel cable that they use for brakes, right? Made some sort of harness or whatever to keep your water bottle on with you, so you do have access to water. You have your multi-tool. Now I'm trying to remember what else was in there and such, because I know you guys are writing a lot. Oh yeah, and that bungee cable. Okay, and we use that bungee cable too in there from Into the Bush here. And I know A-OK Forging and Adventures is in the house. Welcome, Tack. Hi. I didn't forget about you. I just wanted to bring it up right now. So, because I don't want to derail from this situation real. Okay, so you keep walking, you know. Now you walk for another half an hour, and like I said, you've been biking the last 2 hours, so you've been covering more ground in that last 2 hours than you think, and now you gotta walk it out. So you don't have access to wheels, that kind of transportation. So You know, you're starting to walk out. Now, if you're really savvy, you know, you might be able to create something that has friction fire, some sort with the wheel. You know, if you were savvy enough and if you knew about that stuff and actually practiced it, you know, that's, you know, if you want to bring that wheel, or at least bring one wheel, wouldn't be too bad, you know. You're still walking and walking and walking. It's about 5:30 now. You've been doing it for an hour, give or take, and you realize you haven't covered that much ground. And you're like, oh, hey, I remember this spot right here. But you covered that. That was only like half an hour of ride, maybe 15 minutes of riding, and there's probably a good 3/4 of the distance to go still. And you realize now that the rain is starting to fall a little bit heavier. A little bit heavier. It's not well, it's not pouring, but it's starting to fall a lot faster now. You know, your water bottle, you know, it has some water in it, so you're good on water. But what about the shelter part? I mean, right? I mean, you're starting to get a little bit more wet. I mean, let's say the temperature's starting to fall down to like 13 Celsius, 55 Fahrenheit. And you do realize, you know, hey, it's starting to get a little cold, a little cool here. You know, water's pulling that heat away from you, and you're just like, you know, then what, right? Do you keep going in this situation, or do you want to stop and try to create fire, right, and dry out? Now you do realize that you don't have a light source, so you still have to walk out, and you do know where when you came in, where your truck or vehicle is, right? If you can get back there, you know, you just happen to realize you have your keys in your pocket, so let's just add that in. And let's just say it's a basic keychain, keys and a car or automobile starter. So you got that. So you got that car starter, and you're just like, well, I mean, like, do you try to like short something out in your starter to create a fire? I mean, if you have keys, you know, you could still open your door, right? Because there's no point in creating fire now and get to your vehicle and realize you can't open the vehicle because you don't have an actual key, and you use that starter to try to do something. So yes, I am behind the chat a little, so I'm just gonna read it real quick. All right, into the bush. All right. Uh. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Rob, yeah, that's a good idea. You can use that bike as a frame, right? It's a pre-established frame, probably stronger than any piece of wood out there, right? That you could find. Lean it, make a structure out of it, maybe, yeah, yeah. You know, maybe if you decide to stay put instead, in this case, you know, you decide not to try to walk out or self-rescue, you know, use that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then cover the bike with whatever you got. Okay, okay. Yeah, you did it, attack. Uh, take your multi-tool and find a rock that throws sparks. And that's a fire start. Okay, okay. That's if your multi-tool has a carbon steel element to it. But in this case, the scripper doesn't. uh, yeah, I remember that attack. That was an awesome video. You guys, series of videos that or situation. Yeah, because you can definitely learn from those. Learn what to bring. Learn what really is important. You know, and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, just because you got the stuff doesn't mean that you'll survive per se, right? You know, even if you have means of hunting, well, if you don't see anything, well, you know, can't hunt or kill anything or you know, for food in terms of animals if you don't even see the animals, right? I mean, it's kind of a given. If you don't see water, well, you don't got water. Okay, River. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, you're gonna try that again, Tag? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Can't wait to see a video on that. I'll just read what everyone says real quick here. Oh, okay, okay, Ripper. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. Might be possible. Yeah, it might be possible. Now, granted, like I said, in this situation, it's light rain. Maybe it's a medium rain. It's not pouring, but you do realize that it is starting to rain more now as time goes on. So I think if you sheltered in place and decided to do that in this case, what Rob said, the awkward tiny helps about using the bike to lean against a tree and try to lean things against it, yeah, and maybe use that water bottle that you have to kind of gather some water. Maybe use that inner tube to kind of focus the water into the bottle, you know, something like that. Uh, Speak of snares, you know, actually, not speak of snares, but speak of the shelter part. I guess um, using the bike, right? That's shelter, right? You got that cable wiring. You can use as cordage, right? Secure things together. You know, maybe make some sort of tripod or something like that. Help you, lash things together for your shelter, for your lean-to. And you're using that bike, right? Hopefully you could get fire going, right? And if you could get some sort of a little bit of flame going, you get that inner tube to kind of extend it. Although it might be a little bit tricky in this case, like I said, you might not have a tool that can get sparks. You might not be able to find that flint that you need, that rock that'll work, right? Let's see here. Now, I guess if you could, since most bikes have reflectors on it, right? I would probably, most likely, if I deem it necessary, right? In that situation, probably bring the reflectors with me. You know, maybe you're lucky and you had a mirror on your bike. In this case, I don't know though because usually mount people that mountain bike don't usually have those on. They'll still have the reflectors on, but the mirror, I don't know. If you're lucky, you could have that mirror, right? Maybe. But like I said, you're not gonna signal much because it's raining out in this situation. So and the sun's going down too. It's coming up to that 5, 6 o'clock mark where you do know, if you don't get out in the next hour, you're gonna be walking in the dark. Let's just say, and it's still raining, light rain, but it's still raining enough that it's dark out. So it's clouds all over the place, no stars, no moon. You know, if you're lucky, you might be able to see one star in a clear break area, but you cannot tell where the moon is or anything like that. And since you can only see one star, you can't be like, hey, this is part of the Little Dipper. This is part of the Big Dipper, and try to figure it out from there, right? But you do realize you're going in the right direction if you were to try to walk it out, right? Self rescue. right? So let's see here. Now, I have seen this before about using the pedal as a way as a bearing block for a bow drill. Now that might be a little bit difficult. Now you do have tools to kind of try to get something, but like I said, it's been raining, or it has been light rain, right? So things might be a little bit moist. So that friction fire might be a little bit harder to do, especially if you haven't done it before or haven't practiced it. You know, it's one thing to practice it when everything's dry, but to practice it when it really counts and it's been raining out a little bit and things are a little bit wet and you're doing it from scratch, where you know your spindle and your hardboard and all that stuff aren't already dried out, right? Let's see here. What else could use? I'm trying to think here. It's kind of, this is kind of interesting just because, you know, you would have to make that choice, I guess, right? Do you want to stay put or try to self-rescue and walk out? You know, if you saw your tracks still, maybe, you can still follow them. And like I said, this is in the fall. And the temperatures dropped from 60 Fahrenheit or 16 Celsius down to, let's say, that 50 Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius mark now. You know? So you gotta make that, stop and make that choice initially about, do I want to stay or do I want to self-rescue? You know? So I gave options for both there, just for consideration, right? Using the bike as the bike itself would, if you wanted to, and you do you realize that, hey, I can't bring the bike back. It's not, like, you're gonna cannibalize it, use the parts to help you in this situation, right? Because you do realize that, you're starting to get a little bit chilly, and you're just like, yeah, if I don't do anything now, it might be too late, right? So, let's see here. Where am I at? Oh wow, 90 minutes already went by. So I will go. Actually, you know what? I thought I was gonna go for another round of this, but I think I'll cut this so this stream's not that long. So I want to say special thanks to everyone that came by during this live stream. From Ron from the Off-Grid Tiny House, Andrew from Into the Bush, Reaper Militia Outdoors, so Steve, okay, Forging Adventures with Tack, Jason M Outdoors, Southern Ohio Prepping, Savage Survival, Valerie Williams, Happy Trails Hiking, Cabin Life with Glenn and Maureen, Plymouth Fence, and Potato Head here. And I think I had one more person in there. Oh no, I didn't. So thank you for all those channels and people, right? All these channels for coming by and supporting this and participating and kind of, growing the mind, and not experimenting, but kind of thinking outside the box, and consider this as as a thought experiment, just considering it. Because a lot of the stuff could happen, and you may be limited on the stuff that you have on you to use, and you got to use what you have to get what you need. And kind of, try to think outside the box a little, maybe use some of that natural material, whatever it is, right? Wood, sticks, rocks, stones, right? Soil, dirt, water, to help you, right? And always remember, shelter, keeping your core body temperature either cool or warm, depending on the situation, water and food, right? Food maybe not so important in early on, but eventually you want to try to, especially if you're exerting yourself quite a bit, right? It'll help. Now, the water, obviously, and the shelter are definitely going to be important. So, thank you everyone for coming by. I appreciate it. And, like always, stay tuned for the next combination mode in the future. So as the world changes, so must oneself to reach a new level of skill and knowledge one must practice. A single person can't help everyone in this world, but one person can help someone in this world, regardless of, your nationality, your race, your preference, your gender, age to a certain degree, can help someone in this world. And until that next video, next creation, next tank, and all that stuff, VR, live stream, and all that stuff, it's peace out from you know who. You know who. You know who. You know who. Come on, quick. Alright. It's peace out from CR, and I'll catch you next time. Take care, everyone.